Where are my yodelers at? Yodel hee hoo, yodel hee hoo. My howdy doody to you too. Did you take your Ricola? I know I did. That's better. You know, they should have double branded Ricola with all them herbs in there. They should have made it like an IQ tonic or something. Ricola makes you smarter. Did you know that? Those herbs in there don't just help your throat. They're good for your brain, man. Yeah. Doesn't it make sense? There's so many herbs in there. The smarter just talking about it. And you should maybe feel smarter listening to it. Brilliant. So, welcome to the show. We have people here, Chili Bean And the lunatic. Hey, welcome back, the lunatic. How you been? How you been? Long time no see, man. Y'all get dough, man, for being the first ones here. Do you know that? You get dough on YouTube. 20,000. First person here gets 20,000. Second person 10,000. Third person 5,000. It's a race to the top. I don't want y'all hurt yourselves, so. Nope, no pushing. No pushing, please. Like civilized community. I forgot to hit this. They did third one here. And don't forget to do the awesome emoji to get your little extra dough there for just do the awesome in between colons, and there it is. You get paid. Alright, so what else we got here? I'm gonna say hi to everybody. We got always try to find the natural cough drop. Dude, you remember those Ludens cough drops? They were like candy, bro. I remember when I was a kid, we used to get away with eating candy in class by getting those. They were straight up like candy. It was just pectin and sugar. Remember? Ludens cough drop. They were the elementary school candy hack. Remember that one? They still doing that? Teachers couldn't say anything about them. They were the best tasting cough drops on the market. They straight up tasted like a Tootsie Roll Pop almost. You know what I mean? They super cherry flavored. You don't remember the Ludens, bro? Oh man, look at this. You're gonna remember what? I don't remember how to spell it, but this will come up with it. Okay. Ludens, Ludens, but it's the cherry ones, bro. Wild Cherry Ludens is the one. Yeah, baby. Woo! Man, those are delicious. You don't remember the Ludens, man? Look at the ingredients. See? Pectin. Oh, no, these aren't the ones. You don't want the ones with menthol. You don't want dual relief. You want single relief. Dual relief, that'd be fucking disgusting. Menthol flavored ones, man. They trying to get the kids to stop eating them, aren't they? Must be these. Yeah, this is the ones. Watch, ingredients. Pectin. Period, baby. Ascorbic acid, citric acid, corn syrup, malic acid. You know what I'm saying? Sucrose. It's a little treat. At the same time, we're probably eating mini thins too, though. We're pipping our step. But that was more through in high school, though. At that point, the Ludens were in high school too, though. Shout out to D-Live over there holding it down with all the dancing and shit. Look at them over there. They got Sweet Witch. I gotta actually give them real money to make them happy. They're fucking those people over there, man. They're making me go broke, actually. They don't ever donate back to me anymore on D-Live. They just have me donate to them. It's getting kind of weird. I don't know how much longer I can take it. They need to make me an affiliate over there. Could you guys tell D-Life to make me an affiliate? Damn it, so we can get some stuff over here eventually, like emojis and subs and stuff. You know, you only have to have 300 followers to apply for it. I got over 4,000, man. What's taking them so long? Anyway, how do you think this guy looks in his new gear? Pretty good, huh? So sweet Shalto and Tontos. See you guys. Thanks for being here so fast. Hey, Kong, you here? He gets to wear this now. Oh, I guess that he's handcuffed the whole time. So, are they even in there right now? They're not even in there right now, dude. By the way, like they left for some time. Let's see what happened.
Good morning. Party's ready to proceed?
Bench ready, Your Honor. Bench ready, Your Honor.
All right, from the state. Mr. Waters.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're obviously here in the sentencing for the state versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh. Your Honor, I have prepared the sentencing sheets signed up. If I can hand those up to the clerk. Your Honor, very quickly, the defendant has no prior record, and the state has no victim impact people who want to speak at this time. I will address the court briefly.
Damn!
And I don't need, Your Honor, to repeat the evidence that Your Honor just heard for the past 6 weeks, but it is overwhelming, and it shows this man to be a cunning manipulator, a man who placed himself above all others, including his family, a man who violated the trust of so many, including his friends, his family, his partners, his profession, but most of all, Maggie and Paul. This is a very complicated situation, and I want to offer my condolences to the family that has suffered here. We have tried very hard to be respectful and sensitive regardless of what position any person took, because this family has suffered, and they've had to suffer in the public eye, and I want to offer my condolences to this family. I want to offer it for Maggie and Paul and Mr. Randolph, too, who I had the pleasure of working with on one occasion. But the reality remains is that despite all this attention, this case is about Maggie Murdaugh and Paul Murdaugh, and I'm so thankful that the jurors gave them a voice. You heard about Paul. Obviously, there was the boat case, but you also heard him described as a fun-loving young man, a person who loved life, a person who would do anything for his friends, for anyone. And he was cut down as he was just starting to live his life.
I don't know. CJ said he was kind of an asshole, and the town actually was kind of saying he was. CJ TV talked to the local yesterday and said that the dude might have been kind of an asshole. I don't know, man. And he's like, I don't want to talk shit about someone like that's dead. You know what I mean? I get it, but it's just right. This is the facts of it, actually.
Maggie, you heard how sweet she was. You heard that she was a girl's girl who adapted to the outdoorsman life of her sons, how much she loved her sister and her brother-in-law and their children, and she was cut down in the prime of her life. Both of them, like everyone else, was unaware of who he really was. No one who thought they knew this man, no one who thought they were close to this man knew who he really was. And Your Honor, that's chilling. And I've looked in his eyes, and he liked to stare me down as he would walk by me during this trial. And I could see the real Alex Murdaugh when he looked at me. The depravity, the callousness, the selfishness of these crimes.
Look at this guy. Yo, y'all seeing this? This guy he's staring him down hard, shaking his head, yes, bro. Homie, that's wild.
Are stunning, the lack of remorse, and the effortless way in which he lies, including here, sitting right over there in this witness stand. Your Honor, a man like that, a man like this man, should never be allowed to be among free, law-abiding citizens again. Now, I would submit to you that the only just sentence here to give justice for Maggie and Paul is the maximum.
It was so calculated.
2 consecutive life sentences. Thank you, Your Honor.
This dude's gonna, 2 consecutive lives?
You indicate that no victim would like to speak at this time. Would any victim like to speak at any time during these proceedings?
Your Honor, one of the things we did early on, obviously, as I just said, it's a very complicated situation, but we made the decision early on. We've had our victim advocate here who's been doing a wonderful job, regardless of the viewpoints of any individual family member, to provide aid and service to them, and we made that decision. I'm informed by our victim advocate that none of them wish to speak. The defense can certainly address that, but that's what I'm informed. They certainly were offered the opportunity as is required, and I want to commend our victim advocate on the excellent job she did in handling this complex situation that we wanted to be sensitive to, because again, none of us are not mindful of the fact of the suffering of this family.
I noticed late Chief Mark Keel is here. Would you like to address the court on any matters, Chief?
Yes, sir. Just to say, again, very proud of our agents, the work they've done, proud of the partnership that we've had with the Attorney General's office as we've had for many years. And again, we're here to see justice is served, and we believe that.
Thank you. For the defense.
Your Honor, Mr. Griffin and I would have no comment. The defendant would like to address the court, though.
Oh shit! What?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hold up! Oh, whoa!
I'm innocent.
Whoa! We need to slow. Ah! What? We'll be right back. It'll go right back to where we were, so we're okay. I just want to listen to him and what the fuck is this? Oh my god! I didn't go that direction. Go the right direction, man. Just go the right direction. There you go. Bop. Bop. You motherfucker! You fucking shit! Oh, god dang it, dude. That right there is some bullshit. Alright, we'll figure it out though.
I'm proud of the partnership that we've had with the Attorney General's office as we've had for many years.
The defendant would like to address the court.
I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie.
Slow the fuck down.
And I would never hurt my son, Paw Paw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's it! Hold on, okay, so get that one more time with the paw. You just had to paw it, didn't you? You just had to fucking paw it. Oh my gosh, paw.
I'm innocent. I would never hurt my wife, Maggie. And I would never hurt my son, Paw Paw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sit down.
Anything further?
I don't think further comment is necessary, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Murdaugh, if you will come before the court for sentencing.
He could always been like, yeah, no, they found you guilty. You're guilty. You killed him. You know, like, he could have said something like snooty like that to him. Couldn't he have? Like, legally? He could have rebutted that or some shit? I don't know how this works, dude.
This has been perhaps one of the most troubling cases, not just for me as a judge, for the state, for the defense team, but for all of the citizens in this community, all the citizens in this state, and as we have seen based on the media coverage throughout the nation, you have a wife who's been killed, murdered, a son savagely murdered, a lawyer, a person from a respected family who has controlled justice in this community for over a century.
Fucking scary, dude.
A person whose grandfather's portrait
Too much power.
hang at the back of the courthouse that I had to have ordered removed in order to ensure that a fair trial was had by both the state and the defense.
Will they go back?
And I've sat through the trial. Not only have I sat through the trial, but also as the presiding judge of the state grand jury, sat through and participated in the issuance of search warrants of various sorts, bond hearings, and have had to consider many things. And we have this case, and I'm also assigned to preside over 99 others, at least 99 other cases. Though testimony has come up regarding many of those other cases, I will not make any comment with regard to any other pending matter, as I have been assigned those cases as well.
The financial ones? 99 financial cases against him?
It's also particularly troubling, Mr. Murdaugh, because as a member of the legal community, and a well-known member of the legal community, you've practiced law before me, and we've seen each other at various occasions throughout the years. And it was especially heartbreaking for me to see you go in the media from being a grieving father who lost a wife and a son to being the person indicted and convicted of killing them. And you've engaged in such duplicitous conduct here in the courtroom.
Duplicitous?
Here on the witness stand. And as established by the testimony throughout.
Duplicitous. Treacherous. Deceitful. Duplicitous. Oh, why did he bust out with that one? What's the difference between saying that one and deceitful? Bro. He probably doesn't even know what the fuck that means right now. He's sitting there like, God dang it. He's a smart ass black dude. What the fuck's that word mean?
The time leading from the time of the indictment and prior to the indictment throughout the trial to this moment in time. Certainly, you have no obligation to say anything other than saying not guilty. And obviously, as appeals are probably expected or absolutely expected, I would not expect a confession of any kind.
No. Not an appeal.
In fact, as I've presided over murder cases over the past 22 years, I have yet to find a defendant who could go there, who could go back to that moment in time when they decided to pull the trigger or to otherwise murder someone. I have not been able to get anyone, any defendant, even those who have confessed to being guilty, to go back and explain to me what happened at that moment in time when they opted to pull the trigger, when they opted to commit the most heinous crimes known to man.
Hey, do you think Buster's buying it right now? I hate to break him up like this, but like I'm watching Buster's face. Do you think he thinks his dad did it, or do you think he thinks his dad's actually still innocent? Or does he actually know his dad did it? You know what I mean? I think that's a bright shirt. Okay. And this guy looks like he wants to rip the back of his head off at all times. It's interesting. And who is he? Got a small head. He's thinking about something. And go.
Case qualifies under our death penalty statute based on the statutory
That's what I was wondering,
circumstances
dude.
of
If that was
two
on
or
the
more
table.
people being murdered.
And it is
by the defendant by one act or pursuant to one scheme or course of conduct.
Whoa, bro.
I don't question at all the decision of the state not to pursue
They didn't.
the death penalty. But as I sit here in this
Interesting.
courtroom and look around the
He wishes they would
many
have.
portraits of judges and other court officials and reflect on the fact that over the past century, your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct.
Damn. Oh, but so could he be like, you know what? Fuck it. You gotta go.
Remind me of the expression you gave on the witness stand. Was it tangled?
Tangled web, we weave.
Oh, what tangled web we weave. What did you mean by that?
And then when I lied, I continued to lie.
And the question is, when will it end? When will it end? And it's ended already for the jury because they've concluded that you continued to lie and lied throughout your testimony. And perhaps with all the throng of people here, they, for the most part, all believe, or 80, 90%, 99% believe that you continue to lie now when your statement of denial to the court. Perhaps you believe that it does not matter, that there's nothing that can mitigate a sentence given the crimes that were committed. You know, a notice of alibi was filed in this case by counsel in November, and we conducted a hearing, pretrial hearing, in which you claimed to have been someplace else at the time the crime was committed. Then, after all of the witnesses placed you at the scene of the crime, at the last minute, or last minutes or days, you switched courses and admitted to being there. And then that necessitated more lies and continued to lie. And I said, where will it end? It's already ended for many who have heard you and concluded that it'll never end. But within your own soul, you have to deal with that. And I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep. I'm sure they come and visit you. I'm sure.
All day and every night.
Yeah, I'm sure. And they will continue to do so. And reflect on the last time they looked you in the eyes, as you looked the jury in the eyes. I don't know person who's always been such a gregarious, friendly person and cause their life to be tangled in such a web, such a situation that yours have spun into, and it's so unfortunate because you had such a lovely family of such friendly people, including you, and to go from that to this.
Why does he have no emotion?
Your license to practice law has been stripped
It's like,
away from you. You turned from lawyer to witness, and now
he's a psychopath,
have an
dude.
opportunity to make your final appeal
No emotion.
as an ex-lawyer. And it's almost, it's really surprising that you're waiving this right at this time. And if you opt to do so, it's on you. You're not compelled to say anything, but you have the opportunity to do so.
Judge, I tell you again, I respect this court, but I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paul.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become when you take 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 opioid pills. Maybe you become another person. I've seen that before. The person standing before me was not the person who committed the crime, though it's the same individual. We'll leave that at that. Before announcing sentence on these cases, with regard to all of the other pending cases, are any of them here in Colleton, or I'm sure some of them are?
Yes, sir.
Half of them, or?
I don't have that in front of me, but there are a substantial number of charges here. There's some in Hampton, Orangeburg, Beaufort, Allendale. There may be others that I'm not thinking of right now.
There goes
We might
Buster's
have worn out our
inheritance.
welcome here in Colleton.
Colleton's been great.
They have been, and I'll take this opportunity to thank Sheriff Hill and all of the court officials and really everyone I've met and dealt with while here in Colleton County. Just been great. But without any delay, we're going to schedule some of the other matters. I know Mr. Harpootlian's scheduling is complicated, and you've sacrificed quite a bit to be able to be here defending Mr. Murdaugh, as well as the Attorney General's office, with all the other many things and obligations you have. And to be able to have the Attorney General here, Alan Wilson, for the period of time that he's devoted to being here along with everyone else, it's been quite a sacrifice. But there are other victims whose cases deserve to be heard. And this case has jumped some of those other cases. Perhaps jumped it because of this case resulting in an assault on the integrity of the judicial system in our state, law enforcement in our state. Even during this trial, the law enforcement have been maligned for the past 5 or 6 weeks by one who had access to the wheels of justice, to be able to deflect the investigation. And as the evidence is pointed out in this case, the looming storm that Mr. Waters talked about, I can just imagine on that day, June 7th, when a lawyer is confronted and confesses to having stolen over $500,000 from a client, And he has a tiger like Mark Tinsley on his tail, pursuing discovery in the case involving the death of Mallory Beach. And having a father, for the most part, on his deathbed. I could imagine, or really can't imagine, but I know it had to have been quite a bit going through your mind on that day. But amazingly, to have you come and testify that it was just another ordinary day, that my wife and son and I were out just enjoying life. Not credible, not believable. You can convince yourself about it, but obviously you have the inability to convince anyone else about that. So if you made any such arguments as a lawyer, you would lose every case like that. Cases you will never have an opportunity to argue anymore, except perhaps your own as you sit in the Department of Corrections. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments in the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh. I sentence you for a term of the rest of your natural life for the murder of Paul Murdaugh, whom you probably love so much. I sentence you to prison for murdering him for the rest of your natural life. Those sentences will run consecutive. Under the statute involving possession of a weapon during a violent crime, there is no sentence where a life sentence is imposed on other indictments. That is the sentence of the court, and you are remanded to the State Department of Corrections. And officers may carry forth on the imposition.
No emotion from me, even Buster. The whole family's crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bro, that means he's got to live twice, man. Consecutive. He's gonna have to, now he's gonna have to find a way to live twice, dude. Better hurry the fuck up. Run out of time, dude. The Buster's not even crying. Like, like, bro, he probably knew all night his dad's gonna be doing life in prison. He's broke now, probably, unless he writes a book. My dad killed my family. This is my book. I'm Buster. Does this hair come off like a Lego man? Eaglet's about to shit in Mom's face, isn't it? I wonder if that ever happens. Oh, oh, sorry, Mom.
Before we adjourn, an order was issued concerning maintaining the juror's identity being anonymous. And that order was issued, and for the most part, it's been complied with, except for the jury leaving the courtroom yesterday, or not the jury, but the defendant leaving the courtroom while the jury is still seated. Protecting the identity of the jurors is certainly extremely important during the course of a trial to ensure that no one makes contact with the jury or attempts to influence the jury. Jurors have a right to continue that privacy beyond their jury service, but they're not obligated to do so. And it would not surprise me if jurors choose to come forward and to speak, and they're encouraged to do so if that is their desire. I have no problem whatsoever with the jurors unmasking themselves and speaking freely with the media, because they have undergone a life-changing experience as it relates to many of them. And some of them are here now, and I want them to know that should anyone attempt to harass them or annoy them, please let me know and I will address the issue. Secondly, there's a complaint now regarding the posting of autopsy photographs or photos that came from within the courtroom. It's based on the direction of the photographs. It did not come from the audience. It came somehow from within the well of the court. The parties have requested an investigation of that. I have my hands full doing my job, and I don't attempt to conduct any investigations beyond the conducting of a trial, but to the extent that law enforcement decides to review that, it will be the responsibility of law enforcement. Yes. And of course, one of the reasons we've sought to seal graphic photos is because the parties have a right to privacy and a right to those matters not being publicly disclosed. If anyone has heard about the recent settlement that Kobe Bryant's, another sports analogy, Kobe Bryant's wife just made with Los Angeles County and others out there over certain disclosures of information involving the death of Kobe Bryant. Liability can be substantial, and it's a risk for the most part that's not worth taking. So we'll let everyone judge themselves accordingly with that regard. Aside from all that, our business is done here in Colleton County, and I get to use my gavel one or few times during this trial and order that court be adjourned. Sine die.
All rise.
Yeah. That's it. I didn't realize it was all done for the day. Well, now what? Got over with quickly. Usually there's impact statements and stuff. Like, people want to talk about stuff. I don't know, it's interesting. Like, I guess the state knew that there weren't going to be anybody wanting to talk. Buster, I don't know. I guess, like, They're still trying to act like he's innocent, bustering everybody. Because they're going to appeal it. I wonder if he still has a career as a senator after all this. Because after knowing all the evidence, they should have known, dude. Oh shit, he patted him on the back. Prosecution patted the defense. They're gonna go have steaks later. He's like, yeah, hey, don't worry about it. Heavy loss. You wanna have a steak later? I know a good spot. They're all buddies, dude. It's weird. It's so fucking weird like that, man. Like, it seems like they would be like on separate teams or something. But they're all lawyers. Like, they flip-flop all the time. These people were talking about this. He was like, yeah, I was a prosecutor at one point. This guy probably was too at one point. But that's not where the money's at. That's why they go to defense attorneys. They learn what they can about prosecution so that it makes them a better defense attorney. They're all buddies. They know that's the way to make it in their field. Going from this to politician, you have to have buddies, not just on one side, on both, on all. He has to be friends with them if he's going to try to be a politician later. He doesn't have to, but it helps. Friends with everybody. I think if your enemy's closer, they would know you're not really friends or just doing it because it's a politician thing. It must be weird being a politician, not knowing who's actually like got your back and who's doing it to try to get some shit from you. It's like the real world, but times 10, because everyone's trying to get some shit in that world. I bet we end up seeing this guy later on. Something, maybe he runs for office because of the amount of eyes that were on this case, dude. He is probably highly regarded, not just in South Carolina right now. And there's dude right there. This is the attorney general for South Carolina. So he's rubbing shoulders with him. Probably a lot more than he used to. This is his boss's boss. Like I said previously, this guy's already a senator. Who is this guy? A bodyguard? I don't know. Maybe it's a lawyer. I don't remember him talking. Maybe he's his bodyguard. Or maybe he's his boss, and he's his boss. Could be. Anybody know who that is? I can't remember the names, but I know that other dude's Attorney General, South Carolina. Let's see what his name is. Whoa, you suck. Name's Alan Wilson. Elected in 2010. Got a second term in 2014, third term in 2018. That was him, right? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's him. Is that it? Is that it, bro? Oh, no, there's something there. There was something there, bro. Is that where they were taking him in? Taking him out.
Their appeal, should all those financial crimes have come into this case. So this case is...
That's what taking him in.
Give me a thumbs up.
Walter Burrow. Dude, I got a fucking infection.
My name is Mark Keel, and I'm chief of the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, otherwise known as SLED. For those of y'all in the local media, you know I don't do very many press conferences. I've been chief of SLED for 12 years, and I've only done 2.
Yeah.
The last one I did was in June of 21 to talk about significant violent crime that's just been unprecedented in our state. But today it's important for me to speak out. It's important because of the victims in this case. It's important because Maggie and Paul cannot. I want to make one thing clear to everybody. There are no winners today. I have a truly humbling responsibility as being chief of SLED. I lead a dedicated and professional group of investigators, forensic scientists, and support personnel. A staff that work day in and day out for days just like today to bring justice for victims. And today is not the end. It's the next step in a long road to justice for every person who has been victimized by Alex Murdaugh. Alex Murdaugh has now been rightfully found guilty of murdering his wife Maggie and Paul. He was found guilty because he was guilty. And as one of the witnesses said, Paul was a little detective. This case serves notice to anyone who aided or assisted Alex Murdaugh in committing any crime that justice will be sought. This was an incredible effort by SLED, our local and federal partners, and our partners at the Attorney General's office. And I want to thank Attorney General Wilson and all of his prosecutors, paralegals, and all of his support personnel as well. They did a fantastic job. The agents and prosecutors who worked this case have sacrificed countless moments from their own families to ensure that a person responsible for the murders of Maggie and Paul was fairly tried and brought to justice. The people who work this case do it because they are called to serve. They do it to bring a voice to the voiceless. And they're dedicated public servants. And for that, I'm grateful. SLED agents have worked tirelessly for the past 21 months to ensure justice was served for Maggie and Paul. It is impossible for most people to understand the countless hours of hard work that went into this case. Time away from families, missed birthdays, missed holidays, and it is all done under constant scrutiny, constant pressure. I want these folks standing behind me and around me to know how incredibly proud I am of them as Chief of SLED. I believe firmly in this criminal justice system that we have, and I believe in the rights of an accused to have a fair trial. That is why I have remained silent from beginning this case until now. Again today, I'm here to provide a voice for Maggie and Paul. I'm here to recognize the heart-wrenching journey that family and friends of Maggie and Paul have endured. And I'm here to support and thank again this incredible team of agents, forensic scientists, support personnel that work at SLED and that worked on this case. Yesterday and today, justice has been served. Thank you.
That guy's still there, bro. Where's CJ at? Hold on. I bet he's out there. He probably was out there, probably late.
So there you have it, the chief of SLED.
Alright, well when the lawyers come and talk to the people? To the lawyers come talk to the people. There they are, right there. This is way better than oh wait, no, that's not them. That's them again. Come on, people now. Now, brother, everybody get together, try to love one another. I guess they're not going to talk again about it. They did it last night. Man, they're going to milk the shit out of this all day, though. Wait, why do they still have those there? As if they're going to talk.
And why somebody would commit a murder. And so I would think the appellate courts would take them serious.
Why are the microphones? Are they just putting those on screen to make people think someone's going to talk? That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. What are they doing, man? Idiots. Look, there's microphones there, so stay tuned. You never know. Somebody could walk up to one of them. Look, actually, though, let's be real. There's not going to be that many microphones stationed there unless someone is going to come up to it eventually. So there's that. I'm using it. Unless that's previous footage. I doubt it, though. Oh shit, what's he saying? Hold up.
It played out in this case. Let's roll some of that now. We'll wait for the defense and get out there when they're live.
It was 2 not guilty, 1 not sure, and 9 guilty.
What was your vote?
Guilty.
From the start?
Yes. Started deliberating, going through the evidence. Everybody was pretty much talking, and about 45 minutes later, after all our deliberating, we figured it out.
So it took basically 45 minutes for you guys to come to a decision?
Probably about 45, maybe an hour.
That's really fast.
Yeah, the evidence was clear.
When he said it was him, were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
Why?
That was his only savior right there.
Okay, pulling out of that because the defense is queuing up. Let's go live to
that
their
was
presser.
him. It was like, what?
I'm Dick Harpootlian. This is Jim Griffin. That's Emily Dale. That's Maggie Fox. That's Holly Miller. And this is Phil Barber. We are Alec Murdaugh's defense team. We're able to answer your questions. We're not going to make a statement. I know y'all don't want one.
Hold up.
So,
who did he steal these sunglasses from?
Anybody got a question?
Do you think it was a mistake to put Alex Murdaugh on the stand?
No. Next.
Mr. Harpootlian, why did you object to that jury being dismissed yesterday?
Why didn't I?
Why didn't you?
Well, for two reasons. One, she admitted she talked to other people about the case, but not specifically. But technically, I think the judge had leeway to excuse her, but she clearly, after we interviewed her back in chambers, in my mind, had not made up her mind. And I thought that was important. I don't know. She didn't express an opinion to us. She said she was open. She hadn't made up her mind.
Mr. Harpootlian, the defense has made a great deal of points about SLED and their handling the investigation. Your position in the Senate, do you feel there's an opportunity to address that from a legislative standpoint?
I think there were significant issues, but I won't be addressing that in the Senate unless it comes up in a bill. I'm not going to mix this role with my role as a senator. I would not do that.
You're fired. You're fired. You better not get it.
And what do you make of the judge's comments after the verdict that he agreed with the jurors?
What?
That's the question.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Why did they seek a death penalty?
Well, I'm somebody that's prosecuted and defended a bunch of death penalty cases, and clearly, you never do it in a circumstantial case. Because you're not 99 times out of 100, a jury's not going to sentence somebody to death without I saw him do it, he confessed, or great forensic evidence at the minimum. They had none of that here. Secondly, in a death penalty case, it gives us the ability to individually voir dire jurors, which would have been very helpful here. And the prosecution obviously didn't want that. So I don't disagree with, if I'd been prosecuting this case, I probably wouldn't have brought it, but based on, what we heard was presented to the Colleton County grand jury by Detective Owen, Jim crossed, blood spatter that didn't exist, testimony about guns that was wrong. I can go through the litany with you. Going back to his question, I think SLED needs to do some self-examination on the forensic processing. They did not. One of the things we complained about was that Maggie's phone would have had all her GPS data on it if they processed it within 5 days. And they because they didn't, the GPS data got overridden. It was just one, which would have been helpful to Alec. It's fingerprints, footprints, and all kinds of forensic things that weren't done.
They still think he's innocent or what?
So what was the question about the judges?
What did you make of the judge's comments after the verdict that he agreed with it and thought it was the right conclusion?
He's entitled to his opinion.
Mr. Harpootlian, can you expect an appeal anytime soon?
10 days will be filing an appeal.
What do you believe the strongest grounds for an appeal are?
What'd you say?
What do you believe the strongest grounds for an appeal are?
But
it was the admission of all the financial crime evidence, and that was offered up, as evidence of motive, that because he was confronted about one financial transaction involving attorney's fees by the chief accountant of the law firm, that was being offered as motive for why he would go home and kill his wife and son, which we thought was illogical and ludicrous, and there really was no evidence linking one to the other, and we did not think it should come in. Not only did that come in, but every other financial misdeed that they could bring in over the last 10 or 15 years was allowed in, and we think that we strongly objected. We respect the judge's decision, but we believe that was an erroneous decision, and we believe that the judge was somewhat misled, because at the conclusion of the case, when Mr. Metters is up on his rebuttal argument in front of the jury, he says to the jury, oh, forget about all that motive evidence. We don't have to prove motive. We just have to prove malice, which is right. But why did they go to all the effort to prove motive when at the end they say, you don't have to believe us on our motive theory, but by then they had cast Alec as a despicable human being, and that was the reason they offered it in the first place. And we think the appellate courts will take a strong look at that.
Dude,
we
him
feel,
lying
like that
is
a
what
very
got
solid
him fucked, dude.
for an appeal.
What are you talking about?
We're going to pursue that.
What do you have to do with that?
6 weeks long trial. Would you guys do anything
Saying he wasn't there, and then all of a sudden,
No.
in this trial?
No. Look, once the judge, first of all, we believe if the judge was going to let that stuff in, it should have been limited to the Ferris case, which is what they were asking him about on Monday on the fee. Number two, Tinsley, the person that made the motion to compel to be heard on Thursday, Dawes Cook, Alex's lawyer, both agreed there wasn't going to be any storm or Armageddon or anything that was going to happen that Thursday. The judge might have issued an order, which months down the line might have posed a problem. So once they got that character information is he's a thief, he's a liar, then
he was a liar.
It dictated this jury had to think he was a despicable human being and not to be believed. So it was about character. It wasn't about
the sled.
So as a result, our options were limited. Should he take the stand?
This guy's a senator.
Well,
he works in our government.
He always wanted to take the stand, but once that information was in, I mean, he had to take the stand to explain the kennel video, the lie, if you will. I mean,
if you will.
His credibility had been stripped away by the financial misdeeds.
All these people are fucking liars.
How is Buster doing, and why did he choose not to speak at the sentencing?
We could have had Mother Teresa up there speaking on behalf of Alec at sentencing. I mean, he was getting a double life sentence. That was expected. I mean, this is Judge Newman. He's a very stringent punisher when it comes to crimes and sentences. I mean, that was never in dispute. And so for Buster to get up and speak on his dad's behalf would not have made a difference. And why do you want to put that kid through more trauma than anybody that you can imagine has ever been through?
Have his feelings about his dad changed at all in the trial?
What's that?
Have his feelings about his dad changed at all?
You know, I can't speak to Buster's feelings. I can tell you this. There was a lot of effort by the state to convince the family that Alec is the murderer. The family came to trial every day for 6 weeks expecting to hear proof positive that he killed Maggie and Paul, something that they had not heard before. After 6 weeks of trial, they came away more convinced that he did not do this, and they steadfastly in his camp and support him, and that's where they stand.
What's next for Alex?
Well, Alex will be leaving shortly to go to Columbia to R&E, it's called, where he'll be at the South Carolina Department of Corrections. He'll be evaluated. That's about a 30-day process, and then he'll be sent to wherever the correctional facility that they assign him to.
Any special security measures for him?
No, I don't think. Alec was not optimistic that with all of the scrutiny and press and all of his bad acts being out in the public, in the world, media domain, that he could get, a jury to put out all the noise and just focus on the murder. And so coming in, he was somewhat pessimistic. He became optimistic as we got through the process. But I got to tell you, and all you reporters, you know the whole story, I'm sure. And if you're sitting on that jury, they heard everything that would be in an HBO documentary, a Netflix documentary about the Murdaugh family dynasty downfall, except the Stephen Smith matter. I mean, so we were hoping to get a jury to put all, that could ignore the noise, focus on the murder, and we ended up trying a case that they could have watched on Netflix.
Does your legal team have any regrets about the way that you guys performed in this trial? Do you feel like you did? Do you feel like you were outmatched in closing arguments?
No, absolutely not. I mean, not outmatched. I mean, look. They won this case the day the judge bought into letting them put every piece of, stealing from kids who lost their mother, from somebody with pancreatic cancer, somebody that's a paraplegic. I mean, all of that 2.5 weeks, by the time they got done with it, it didn't matter about final argument. It didn't matter about what we put up. They would never, ever, ever acquit him after that.
Last question, guys. Can you just
Last question.
what your grounds for appeal will be? You said it's going to be 10 days. Can you lay out your key arguments in that?
we'll file something not in 10 days, but we'll file a notice of intention to appeal. Then we've got 30 days, I think, to file a brief.
Yeah, so you file the notice within 10 days. You got to get a transcript.
Oh, that'll take a while.
That'll take months before they type up everything, and then we start briefing.
Are you all going to handle the appeal?
Yes.
And argue it in the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court?
And the U.S. Supreme Court.
And the U.S. Supreme Court, if necessary. That's correct.
What's the federal issue?
Doyle.
Oh, there's a huge federal issue. That's why I got so animated, and the judge told me to sit down. Part of the trial is the state eliciting or asking questions of Alec about why he did not come forward and tell law enforcement where he was at the time of the kennel video. And that was after he was arrested. And there's U.S. Supreme Court cases are clear that post-arrest silence cannot be used against you. And that is a classic violation of the Fifth Amendment. And we feel strongly that if we lose at the state courts, we'll have success at the federal courts.
Can you tell us about the plea negotiations before trial?
No.
There were no plea negotiations.
There weren't any.
They never offered him anything.
If you think Alec is innocent, what effort are you making to find the real killer, or what effort is he making?
Not our job to find the real killer. If they had taken fingerprints, if they'd gotten footprints, if they hadn't destroyed, if they preserved Maggie's phone with her GPS, if they had not, they misrepresented to the grand jury that they had a shirt with his blood on it. If Owen had opened his email, he says he didn't get, would have told him a year before there was no human blood on that T-shirt. It was a comedy of errors in terms of forensics on this. So, do I have faith that they would find the real killer? No.
Is Alec Buster's safety?
We don't know. What? Last question. Say that one more time.
Did you support putting Alec Murdaugh on the stand?
There was no choice.
Why?
Because he had been made out to be a monster who stole from children and crippled people that's not a politically correct word. I'm sorry, I'm an old guy. Crippled people who had just done horrible, despicable things, and he had to try to push back on that. And if he'd went that way without taking the stand, he was toast. Taking the stand, could he pull it off? Apparently didn't.
In hindsight, do you regret not asking for a change of venue in this case?
Not really, because we checked. We did focus groups in this case in a county way far away from here. 8 of the 10 people on the 2 focus groups knew all about this case. There was nowhere you could go that you could find. We believe you could find a jury that didn't know, hadn't watched TV, hadn't read the stuff you write or the stuff, the Twitter stuff. And by the way, one of the good piece of information as this trial is over, Griffin can start tweeting again.
That's right.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
Great question.
That was pretty good. A lot in that mix.
That was pretty good. A lot in that mix, huh? Skin was looking supple for his age, you know what I mean? It was tan and touch it. I can put a little touch on it. Don't get carried away. Where's CJTV at, man? Did he go home? What's his problem? Huh? Bro, what the fuck? He's just restreaming when I'm streaming. Forget about it, eh? Fuck, man. Ugh. So many lawyers on the internet. Everybody's a lawyer that watches these things. Alright. I thought he was going to be guilty from a while ago. So just seemed like he was guilty of me, man. That's all. And I don't give a shit about. Everybody's like, yeah, but they don't have a reasonable doubt. They don't have a reasonable doubt, man. All it takes is one. Those fucking hung jury, man. I'm like, bro, man. Oh, man. No. No, that was one of those ones. It was like pretty much, no. But I can't believe Kyle Rittenhouse didn't get something, dude. Something on that one. At least a little something so that we didn't make other 17-year-olds want to go out with rifles and shoot things or people, period, man. We got enough kids shooting shit, man. We don't want more fucking yeehaws being like, hey, man, fucking Kyle Rittenhouse did it, dude. He got, you know what I'm saying? He gets patted on the back and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, dude. Because 2024 might get a little hectic. I want it to get hectic, but it might, you know, because it happens like that. Shit comes in waves, and that's going to be wave time. Surf's up. Bill's in the house. Bill said hi. Bill said hi. That was the official announcement. Was that it now? Is that all we get? Any more people? Man, if CJ was there, we would know if they were taking the mics down or not. For CJ, need him. The fact that you lied, man. You lied about being there in that bit, like, and the fact that he touched Buster's phone. He didn't understand how Snapchat worked or something, maybe. He didn't know. I don't even understand how Snapchat works. Could he have deleted it if he wanted, if he would have done it right? I don't know if it was sent yet. That's fucking crazy though. The Snapchat got him. And he had touched his phone, man. Like those two, I think, is what really got him right there. Once everybody heard that he admitted to be in there. And he was so, like, his odd placement of letting them know that he touched the phone. You know what I mean? He was like, I might have touched his phone. I don't know why. I was gonna do something with it, and then I put it down, and then I checked him or something like it was like, what? Why are you even bringing up that you touched the phone? He knew he knew Pow Pow had the phone in his hand when he was with the dog, and he had to, like, he knew that he was filming something. You could tell because I think he had the light on and everything. Man, that's so crazy though, how you could hear him in the background acting so normal, like, hey, he's got a guinea. Yeah. And then like a couple minutes later he's literally like he's like, what the fuck? That dude's crazy as fuck, dude. And then like how he, like, I really think that that was a rain jacket, and he did rinse off, like he, like something, like he, I bet he was like probably wearing a rain jacket maybe when he did it. No, I don't know what the fuck. What happened to the shirt, dude? No, what? No, the shirt too. That was another big thing. Was like he didn't do. Fucking Paw Paw in his Snapchat videos got him all fucked up, didn't they? Holy shit, dude! Paw Paw got him from the grave, boy, with them Snapchats. That's crazy, dude. Both of them, because what the jury had to have been thinking, where is the shirt? That you just all of a sudden don't know where this blue shirt is, bro. He burned that thing or something. He did something with it. He had to, because they couldn't find it anywhere. He actually got blood splatter on him. You know what I mean? But he got rid of the clothing. Look at him. Like, this was all, he was all crying because he was caught. I mean, maybe he's a little bit sad about it. Why do you have to kill him, though? Fucking cartel told him he has to kill his family for the debt. He was saying he was pushing drugs through some drug route. That's where his properties were, some of them. Like, he has more property. And he got caught like beating a prostitute like 10 years ago or something. Kind of wild. And with the blue lights, man, what was he doing with those blue lights? Was he fucking with prostitutes with those things? Like, he'd roll up on them and act like he's a police officer and get it like get a free blowjob. Probably. Why else would he have wanted? Because I kept thinking, why would he have wanted those blue lights, dude? That makes the most sense. He put that badge on the dash, ride around, probably pop the blue lights on a prostitute, get her in the car, and be like, hey, check this out. If he told the truth, his other son would have been hit. Yeah, probably. Probably, man. And his brother. It seems like he got in too deep on some other shit. Like, it was more than just the fraud, the lawyer fraud. Seems he might have been getting into some drug trade. But then, how is he still in debt, though, man? How is that not paying it off? Or was he speedballing so he could do more opiates? He never said so. Yo, that dude was there the whole time. He just wasn't in uniform. He was right there. Did you see him? This guy. Today he was in uniform looking at mean mugging the shit out of him like he was ready to rip his head off. So he was kind of like, he was in plain clothes the whole time, ready to take him down if he had to. Interesting. That's pretty cool. And this guy is like the sheriff or something, ain't he? Because he has so many stripes on his arm, those diagonal stripes on the arm like that, it's like a certain amount of years of material, being a good boy. Each stripe. Materious service, I think. I mean, in the Navy it can be because depending on the color of them, if they're gold, then it was materious service. If they're white, it just signifies time, right? It's been a long time, dude. It's only on dress uniform though, right? Time after time. Time after time. Do, 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 do. Oh my gosh, so are they done talking to us, bro? With the people? With the microphones? Okay, I gotta fix the headset anyway, man. It keeps popping. It just keeps fucking popping. One after it's doing it now at a rate that's gonna drive me fucking nuts. Duct tape isn't gonna work, dude. Set the heat up. I'll be back. Good. Oh. They're not. Dude, stop doing that. Stop saying that, dude. Go somewhere else with that shit. Stop. You know what? I'm making it so y'all can't give me one lemon anymore, man. That shit's whack. Hold on. What do I do with that? What do? Figure it out. Can I not do that? Thanks, man.
You don't act stupid.
Ah, I thought it was him. That was him talking again. Or the other ones. How do I do it, dude? You should be able to cut it off though, man, but I don't think you can. I don't think it's possible. I don't want your one lemon ever. Okay?
That is one big pile of shit.
Man, guess that's it. That's it for old boy, bro. That's it for his content. Your mic is open. Let me. Mic is open. Open for business. Yes. So that's it. The countdown's for. You just had a plan. Awesome. Yeah, Marilyn and Christy over on Facebook. I wonder what this is counting down to. Okay. Oh, yesterday I forgot to mention I am Jack's Twitch name or YouTube name. He's right here with this. Another thing that's in the shot that from one of y'all. Yeah, and then not go high's flags and the boomerang from Rowdy back there. Yeah. What are you looking at? Huh? Why did you finish your food? Gonna make me stir it for him. How could you have any pudding if you don't finish your meat? Hi, man. Can't have your pudding. Oh, it's meat pudding though, dude. Love the meat pudding. To tell if they're done or not, I guess. Bang. Nobody else gonna talk? Probably not. Guess I'll end this one since they're done talking about it. These people will be talking about it, but like they're done giving interviews. I think they are, aren't they? Judge ain't gonna come out and give one. Jurors aren't gonna come out and do it. Hey, look, they're still out there though. Gigi, who is that guy with her? One of them. Oh, not him again. For the new sheriff in town. There, boy. Okay. Yeah. Going back to that guy. Beef stew time. It's beef stew. Do you use a certain type of potato for your stew? Because I noticed that recently on a Reddit post that some potatoes are better fit for stews because they absorb more of the fluid. They have better fluid absorption ability. Russet, was that the one? Russet. It's gonna be delicious. And they just keep going back to this interview. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, they're probably a little firmer, huh? Uh-oh, Nigerians are talking about voter fraud.
Are getting accreditation, no paper will be given to them. They will tell them to go and line up. It will when they.
Huh. Alright, that's true. I should end this one though, since we're done with this. I don't know, right? What should I do? What do you know? Do you know? Especially shredded hash browns. Shred them straight in your mouth. It's stir fry soup. Oh. Won't be having that anymore then. Sounds disgusting. This is part of the circus aspect of bread and circuses. Political theater. Oh, it's from an hour ago they commented. I don't know what you're talking about. It's gonna put Gave him the celery greens, pepper, corn, turnips, beets, onion, garlic, and stewed beef. There you go. You put sour cream in it afterwards, like when you serve it. That's really big in Eastern Europe. To make it more fattening. It'd be like plop. That dollop of cream up in there at the end. I never really seen that until I think it's a Romanian thing though, maybe. And the person that invented a zip tie, though, that guy's epic. I bet his kids' are millionaires. Amazing invention. The zip tie. Simple. One piece construction. Stroganoff, dude. Every time somebody says the word stroganoff, it takes me back to this big gigantic show. They're a group, electronic group. I went with a friend. He's actually been on the stream, that guy, Yeti. You look up Yeti and doeshow, you probably see him. But we left early, dude, because well, I was on mushrooms probably at the time, and it was a front row show, and there was a handicapped dude next to me that like was with his mom or whatever. It was like a kid, actually, a youngster, in their chair and shit, you know, like quadriplegic type thing going on. And then to the other side of us, was this dude and chick combo that were grinding each other like they were dry fucking in front of everybody pretty much. And then on this side of me, I had this quadriplegic with his mom, and then I got security directly in front of us, like facing us. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's how they do. They watch the crowd to make sure they're not going to run up on the stage. And they're like feet in front of us on the same level. And then you got the show with all the bright lights that are lighting this all up pretty fucking vividly. Because on that show, they had a new stage set up, and it was stupid fucking bright. It was so bright with all the LEDs. So it was super, like, I even had sunglasses on, and it was still just like, whoa. You could see everything like it was a movie or something, because I was tripping, right? So we ended up having to leave early because I couldn't take it. I couldn't take, like, them humping each other, and then at the same time the quadriplegic kid over here to the left of me. It was like, it was too much with all the brightness and sensory overload. But what I'm getting at is a stroganoff. So we're outside, and he was passing out flyers because it was opportune time to do that, because he had to do it to get like free tickets to shows. He had to pass out a certain amount of flyers at different places, and that was a perfect venue to do it at Red Rocks as people were leaving. And this guy walks up to us, and he's on something too. We're all on some. I'm on something. He's on something. We can tell. And he's not like leaving us. And all he's saying is stroganoff. And he's giggity about it and shit. Like, stroganoff, man, stroganoff. Really? Yeah, man, stroganoff, whatever, dude. And like, he's kicking ass. He's passing out these flyers to people as they're walking down the ramp, the Red Rock ramp from leaving, as they're leaving, and then finally he leaves eventually, because we're like, I forgot how we got rid of this guy, but it kind of dawned on us that he was probably like trying to stroke one of us off or some shit. But he was just so fucked up, and like he was on some shit, and like that was his way of like trying to get one of us to go to his car so we could give his head or something. He wanted to stroke stroking off something. It must have been. He must not have been talking about no damn food. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget him for it, though. Like, that whole thing, because I was definitely not so fucked up that we were both hearing some other shit. He was definitely saying stroganoff over and over, and we were not over it, but it had to have been some gay shit, dog. He was wanting to go have some fun in the parking lot. It had to have been, right? I have never heard some slang like that before, though, or like any kind of weird like code like that. But There you go. Now, to this day, anytime I hear the word Stroganoff, I think about that guy. I don't remember really what he looked like or anything, but I remember him as a person being there and the situation in the night and how weird the whole situation was with the quadriplegic and the dry humpers and Stroganoff dude. Everybody too horny that night. The quadriplegic dude was probably even getting horny that day. I don't know if his penis worked. Penis might work. His legs and arms might not work, huh? Possible. Yo, look who they got.
Live
Hold
from
up.
Walterboro, South Carolina,
Atlanta
and you
State
are watching
now.
Law and Crime.
Is this going to be a...
And
oh,
sitting with
shit.
me is the star of the trial, Dr. Kenneth Kinsey. He said I could call him Kenny. How are you doing today?
I'm good, ma'am.
Yeah, very good. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a great panel with us for the next 2 hours. We're going to be taking your questions live, as we always do. So keep them coming to us on Twitter, Facebook, and in the YouTube chat. We'll get to as many of them as we can. Let's introduce the panel. We have a full house today. I love a full house. And we are joined by Michael Bryant, host and lawyer here at Law and Crime. Jack Swerling is a criminal defense attorney in Columbia, South Carolina. He also is a former law partner of Dick Harpootlian's, and also Joe McCullough. They used to be all law partners together. Joe, Dick, and Jack Swerling. Gigi McKelvey is here with me from Law and Crime. And if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. But we are here and ready to take your questions. But first, let's talk to Dr. Kinsey. Dr. Kinsey, you've been in demand. You've been the man about town here in South Carolina today. What's it like to see this verdict and the sentence after all of your work on this case?
Well, I'm just a little spoke in a big wheel, but I'm so awfully proud of those jurors and the men and women that have devoted a year and a half of their life to this case. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity to get the help.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the jury believed you. They did not believe Alec Murdaugh. They seem to really be engaged with your testimony. You've been doing this a really long time. Why were you so certain that this was not a contact wound?
Well, I looked at everything, and not that I can't be wrong, but I'm not going to go in there and give results that I know are wrong. And it was too many variables. I know it was mentioned that variables wasn't important. There was too many variables. I understand firearms and I understand components of firearms, and I know that, one stray pellet maybe, 2 to 3 stray pellets, no, it's not going to happen. And you just look at physics. We got some lessons in physics this past 2 weeks.
We sure did.
But physics doesn't work that way. And I have comrades and cohorts all over the country that was calling me, and it just a mere thought that projectiles moving that fast could turn around and go 180 degrees the other direction with enough velocity to not only leave a defect but to penetrate. It was just unbelievable.
Were you ever nervous at all during this whole process? I mean, you seem like a pretty cool cucumber. You've done 800 death investigations. Was there ever a time where you felt nervous? Because you obviously believed in the state's case. You took the job. You were hired as an expert for the state, and you outlined the crime scene and what you believed happened for the jury.
I always put a lot of time into preparation on my own, but with this team, Mr. Wilson and Creighton and all those wonderful prosecutors, preparation was a big part. Sunday nights, we were down at the hotel just about every Sunday night for the last month or so. I was brought in and I was able to be a part of it. And then on my own, I'm constantly researching. I was watching testimony. I was studying the defense attorneys. And I was trying to commit my record to memory because I have notes in case I get in a jam, but I like to be able to relate and keep that eye contact with the jurors.
All right. Were you surprised by the sentence at all? I mean, I wasn't surprised.
And Jeanette, that part really isn't up to me. I try not to concentrate on that. I just try to be Andy Griffith with a crime scene background, and I like to relate.
You are kind of like Andy Griffith. I liked the other day when you said, I don't know him from a can of paint. I thought that was pretty good. That was a good little Andy Griffith kind of witticism, I think.
I just survived. Look, I've got mad respect for all the attorneys on both sides. They are top shelf. And it's not that I come out on top. I just survived.
Yeah.
And it's hard for a defense attorney to kick you too many times when you're nice. But I do show my teeth just a little bit to let them know that if you take me there, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, and I'm probably going to say something that you don't want me to say. So it's just a little warning to them. I know it sounds funny and lighthearted in a very, very bad situation, but it's just the way my hair stands up a little bit. It's just the way I do it. And it's worked for over 22 years, and it hadn't always been that way, but you can't take it personally. Those attorneys are fighting for their clients.
Sure, of course.
And when you look at it, you don't take it personally. It's a whole lot easier.
Let's bring Joe McCullough in and Gigi over there. Joe, I'm wondering, what do you think of this sentence? I'm not surprised by it. I want your thoughts on both the verdict, the short deliberation time, and the sentence. Joe, can you hear me over there?
Joe's having some audio issues.
Okay, ask Gigi, ask Joe whether or not, what he thinks of the sentence and the verdict.
What do you think about the sentence and the verdict?
Well, I think the sentence was extraordinarily appropriate for the crime. The length and duration of this trial, the complexity, and the time it took to get to a verdict is still fascinating to me.
Gigi, ask Joe over there. Ask Joe, he's friends with Dick Harpootlian. He knows Kenny Kinsey. Ask him, does he agree with the jury's verdict? We know he's best friends with Dick Harpootlian.
So we know that your former law partner is Dick Harpootlian. Do you agree with that verdict?
Well, as a trial lawyer, I'm accustomed to accepting the jury's verdict. It's a hard and bitter pill to swallow as a defense lawyer who's worked your, what off in your heart for years on this case, several years, and then the last 6 weeks have been a tough time. So it's hard. Do I agree with the verdict? I mean, the jury has spoken.
That's right, and they have.
All right.
2 hours and 50 minutes officially.
Gigi, I want to know.
Yeah, I think that clock may have been overly long, according to what one juror has said. 45 minutes. They were pretty much ready to bring it in.
Right. What's that, Anjanette?
Gigi, I want to know, Gigi, we were sitting next to each other during the sentencing today. I want to know, what were your thoughts when Alec Murdaugh got up and said, "I'm innocent, I did not do this"?
I kind of thought he might do that, just because it seems like he obviously has maintained his innocence the whole time, and I didn't expect any less today as he's being sentenced to get that out there one more time. But the jury spoke, and apparently they did not think he's innocent. So he will be heading to kind of a transition facility soon, where he'll stay for about 30 days and then make that transition into state prison, wherever they may send him.
That's right. Jack Swirling, let's bring you into the conversation. Your thoughts on the verdict and the sentence. Were you surprised at the relatively short deliberation for a 6-week trial?
I think I did the emotion I was very surprised. We had a 6-week trial. There's 600 exhibits. I don't know how many witnesses there were, but probably 30, maybe more. I really don't know. But that was a very short deliberation period. I mean, I don't believe the jury had enough time to even go through half of the exhibits. And what it appears to me, based upon what I heard one of the jurors last night or this morning say, they had already decided the case some time ago. A lot of them came to the conclusion that he was guilty. And then within an hour, they were able to go ahead and reach a unanimous verdict. That surprised me.
It was surprising. A lot of people thought it would be today, but it wasn't. Michael Bryant, were you surprised? Because we were hearing rumblings that it could be a short deliberation. Those jurors, I don't know if you looked at them, but they looked tired. And they were dressed up yesterday too. But Michael Bryant, I'm wondering what you thought of that.
surprised. I had the over under 6 hours, so I got totally hosed on that. But it just concerns me, as much as I respect the jury's decision, I'm not sure I respect the process. I mean, 40.
I wanted to hear them talk to that guy more. I don't give a shit about them fucking talking, dude. What the fuck just happened? You see how they do that? Ah. I want to hear him. Look, he's fucking on his phone now. He's like, you idiots.
That issue is out the window since he took the stand. Let's get to a couple of questions, but before Dr. Kinsey has to leave.
Yeah, you stupid
we're going to take some questions from the viewers.
Let's go.
At Gakel949 16486 wants to know from Twitter, did they ever address the hair in Maggie's hand? They didn't. Do you think that was something that should have been addressed, the brown hair found in Maggie's hand?
I'm not a DNA specialist.
But you're a crime scene. I mean,
yes, ma'am.
You're an investigator. You got a PhD.
Hair is generally the last thing they would test in a laboratory. It's really, really exhaustive. My take on it would have been that it appeared to be Maggie's hair. But
who
like
the
I said,
fuck
I'm
just
not
left?
A DNA analyst.
There was 11, now there's 10. Who was that?
I don't know what their mindset or what their methodology was on that.
Okay. Gigi, I'm going to send a question over to Joe from you, or for you. Why was his law office visit early on the morning after the murders not mentioned? His attorney, Danny, was also his partner, and could he have brought evidence there? So, Gigi, do you mind asking Jack or Joe that question about his law office visit early on the morning after the murders?
So, Joe, a viewer wants to know what you think about Alec's visit to his law office early in the morning after the murders.
The visit to his law office or the visit to his mother's?
Are we talking about the mother's or the law office? He went to his mother's and then back to Moselle the morning after. Yeah, he didn't go to the firm. He went from Alameda back to Moselle.
Okay, so Gigi answered that question for us. We think the viewer may have been mistaken. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take more of your questions. And
oh
stay
my
tuned.
God,
We've
you
got a
don't
lot more
have enough
coming
questions
from
ready?
South Carolina. I'm Anjanette Levy, and you are watching Law and Crime.
That's what's
We'll be
happening.
right back.
Why didn't they just, man, bruh, motherfucker? They don't have enough questions ready. That's why they were stalling with them talking, trying to get the questions together, and then they got one question, and then the second one sucked, and then they're like, "Fuck, we gotta vet these questions. We're asking shit that's not even right. And that's the only question we had. We gotta get more questions, John, and this time let's read them first." I made myself the Huel. I made myself do the Huel, man. For the vitamins, for the minerals, for the protein, for the greens, for the anti-cancer shit. Because I feel like if I drink at night, if I drink something like this in the morning, it'll help to flush out the toxins, especially the green stuff. Maybe I'm counteracting the damage. If I have whiskey for both breakfast and dinner, well, that's not going to help. That would definitely not help either. I put some ice cubes in the freezer, though, for later. Ooh. Yeah, no, these people are amateurs. Let's not forget. They're YouTubers, dude. Huh? We're all amateurs on YouTube. Give that a 4.3. That's on the old scale. That's the worst part. That's always the worst part. Like I'm drinking swamp water at that point. Yeah, they got him there, and then that's what we got out of it. Pretty fucking whack, man. All right, I gotta rinse this out. I'm sorry, and I can't just pee on it here and rinse it around and throw it on the floor. That doesn't work, huh? We know that now. So I gotta go do in the sink. I'll be back. I'll be back. Still smells like this in here. Oh, I forgot something. I had to do the fiber supplement. Don't tell anybody. It was free. I just have to pay a thing for it. And it's supposed to help me poop better. Huh? That's a good deal, alright? I gotta do that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Might as well make it better for free. Oops, who's that?
And the sentencing.
I think the speed of the verdict was surprising. I think the typical rule of thumb is about 1 day of jury deliberations per week of trial.
Why the fuck do I lose viewers when I talk about shit, dude?
I got the poo on me.
Wait, what are you doing? Stop trying to take my shine, Gino. My poop talk, not yours. Try to take my poop shine. You can polish a turd. Mine are shiny. It looks like this is over though, man, because now they're starting to interview people that don't even matter anymore. Who's this guy? Fuck him. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, man. Come on, eh? Huh? Eh? Look at that. Look. The only message on Kick is follow for follow. Kick is whack, man. That's all I get over there. People trying to do follow for follow. It's like when D-Live first started. Like literally, that is what D-Live was like when I first got on there. Because PewDiePie was shouting it out. People were trying to win money from PewDiePie because if he popped in their stream, then he was giving people cash that day. That's when I came over to D-Live. It wasn't. I didn't think he was gonna pop in. I just was watching it happen and created an account. I thought it was interesting. I watched him give away a bunch of people money. He even went into Aleki Boone's stream. That was wild because he was a CX streamer with Ice and the crew. It was wild watching him. I watched him talk to PewDiePie live. It's pretty neat. I'm kind of an OG. I'm not really an OG D-Liver, but I mean, that was a while ago, dude. That was a memorable day for D-Live. PewDiePie was promoting it super heavy. He stopped streaming on YouTube for a while. He was only doing D-Live streams. Remember that? And he was at the time he was the biggest YouTuber. Before India took the crown. I think India ended up surpassing him, right? That Indian channel. There's 25 people supposedly on D-Live right now. Shout out to them. See that number? You can see it above the YouTube number. Thing is, they don't donate. They like getting paid. That's the downfall of old D-Live. Back. Rush, fucking Grimoire is one of my longest Twitch subs that I've subbed to for the longest. It was at one point the longest was, I think she might actually be the longest now. But at one point the longest was that one weird girl until I unsubbed from her for aligning with WYSIWYG the way she did. The Fitter Advance now is too. He was on a stream just recently with WYSIWYG, buddy. Some advertisers to get paid. What do you mean? Well, oh, she streamed about 2 years here? Oh, that's cool. So you can get paid here, though. You can get subs. I applied for affiliate, but they're taking their sweet time and giving it to me. You only need 300 300 followers to apply for it. Alright, man. Is it because I'm not showing the court anymore? You wanted to see the people? It's hard to get subs. Oh, really? Because everybody on D-Live is a fucking stingy little kid, or what? How's that work? I've been wondering about that, man. People don't donate on here like they used to. They expect for the streamer to donate to them or something. Is that really how it's working over here? Right here. Are you gonna have money? Who is? You are? Or Bill is? Lion's back there singing the blues. Well, what do y'all think? Should I stop this one since the coverage is over, and maybe y'all just come back with a regular stream? Regular stream or nothing? Oh, you are? Congratulations, Mark. Awesome. Now give me $1. I'll pay you back, man. Hey, come on, guy. You got 2. What do you need 2 for, eh? I got 56 peeps. What's that mean? It says 30 and 9. It's 39. Where are you getting the 56 from? Huh. $56 peeps. Yeah. I don't know though. Don't see that number anywhere. It says 56 on D-Live. Let me see. It's already on my end. There's 28. There's 28 there. Here's the upper refresh this. I don't know where you get your numbers from, man. But they seem improper. Oh man. But they seem improper. But they seem improper. But they seem improper. But but they seem improper. But they seem improper. But they seem improper. Improper. Dude. So, that's what I guess I'll do then. We're gonna close this one down, because we're done with this case for the day. Forever, maybe. Could be it. Wow, those pearls are all different colors. That was cool. Thanks for hanging out here, though, wherever you're at. Whether it be D-Live or anywhere. YouTube, Kick, Rumble. Oh man, I've been neglecting Rumble this morning. Oh, luckily no one said anything. No one said anything except follow for follow on Kick. Oh my gosh. Thanks for the comments on Facebook. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for being here. Hope seeing you real soon. Probably gonna just do a gaming stream a little later. Hang out. Friday. It's Friday, man. We're gonna do some chores until then. But thanks for being here and hanging for the time being when we were here. Dino Fast over here, Mark Hopper, Mr. Wild Bill over on YouTube. Ton Toss, Susted Chiper. You're right there. King Kong Q. I don't know how to say that, dude. Thanks everybody. Attack on. All the people over here. Char was there too. Char was there. Enjoy your 2 pennies each, everybody. Everybody's balling now. Don't spend that all in one place. Alright then. You get some affiliate action on D-Live, which y'all waiting for D-Live. Hurry up, please. Thank you. Oh, and follow me on Kick. You get dough on YouTube. And the first people to the streams always get dough on YouTube. Gotta have a YouTube account. D-Livers. Sorry. Okay, bye now. Love y'all. See you soon. Happy Friday.